positively to our planet and people.
By embracing new technology, we are leading the charge in integrating and assuring the reliability of AI, transforming how businesses operate.
Ethics is our cornerstone. Chartered accountants uphold the highest standards, guiding businesses with integrity and fairness.
We shape communities and drive economic growth, making sure that prosperity is shared and sustainable.
Our qualification opens doors to work worldwide, whether it's New York, Lahore, Nairobi, or London. Chartered accountants are there making an impact, locally and globally.
By building connections, we network across borders, sharing knowledge and expertise to solve global challenges.
From local enterprises to multinational corporations, we ensure financial health and strategic success, powering economies around the world.
Adaptability is key. We thrive in dynamic environment. We're ready to tackle any challenge with innovative solutions.
We lead with purpose, not only to drive profit, but also ensure businesses are ethically and environmentally conscious.
Chartered accountants are puzzle solvers. We decode complex financial information, providing clarity and direction.
Our work shapes economies. By ensuring robust financial systems and sustainable practices, we help build resilient economies with the aim to preserve and grow market capital value.
We are strong locally and connected globally. Join us. Be part of a global profession that's making a tangible difference in the world.
Wherever you are in the world, there's a symbol that shows you're part of a global network of trusted, highly skilled individuals. With over 750,000 chartered accountants and 1 million students in 190 countries. Research shows that if you display the Chartered Accountants Worldwide Network member logo, business leaders and clients see you as more relevant to helping them internationally. You worked hard for this respect. Display it with pride. Join the global network of chartered accountants. We're stronger together.
Our world is built on numbers. They're behind every business. They inform every decision. Numbers have the power to truly transform, drive ambition, and create sustainable economies. But can you see the opportunity ahead of the numbers? Do you see making a difference first and the numbers second? See progress beyond the numbers? If the answer is yes, then Chartered Accountancy could be for you. Become a Chartered Accountant. Become a difference maker.
In a rapidly changing world, chartered accountants are the custodians of trust. We ensure transparency and accountability, driving businesses towards a sustainable future.
As chartered accountants, we play a key role in sustainability, ensuring that businesses prosper and contribute positively to our planet and people.
By embracing new technology, we are leading the charge in integrating and assuring the reliability of AI, transforming how businesses operate.
Ethics is our cornerstone. Chartered accountants uphold the highest standards, guiding businesses with integrity and fairness.
We shape communities and drive economic growth, making sure that prosperity is shared and sustainable.
Our qualification opens doors to work worldwide, whether it's New York, Lahore, Nairobi, or London. Chartered accountants are there, making an impact, locally and globally.
By building connections, we network across borders, sharing knowledge and expertise to solve global challenges.
From local enterprises to multinational corporations, we ensure financial health and strategic success, powering economies around the world.
Adaptability is key. We thrive in dynamic environment, ready to tackle any challenge with innovative solutions.
We lead with purpose, not only to drive profit, but also ensure businesses are ethically and environmentally conscious.
Chartered accountants are puzzle solvers. We decode complex financial information, providing clarity and direction.
Our work shapes economies. By ensuring robust financial systems and sustainable practices, we help build resilient economies with the aim to preserve and grow market capital value.
We are strong locally and connected globally. Join us. Be part of a global profession that's making a tangible difference in the world.
Wherever you are in the world, there's a symbol that shows you're part of a global network of trusted, highly skilled individuals. With over 750,000 chartered accountants and 1 million students in 190 countries. Research shows that if you display the Chartered Accountants Worldwide Network member logo, business leaders and clients see you as more relevant to helping them internationally. You worked hard for this respect. Display it with pride. Join the global network of chartered accountants. We're stronger together.
Our world is built on numbers. They're behind every business. They inform every decision. Numbers have the power to truly transform, drive ambition, and create sustainable economies. But can you see the opportunity ahead of the numbers? Do you see making a difference first and the numbers second? See progress beyond the numbers? If the answer is yes, then Chartered Accountancy could be for you. Become a Chartered Accountant. Become a difference maker.
In a rapidly changing world, chartered accountants are the custodians of trust. We ensure transparency and accountability, driving businesses towards a sustainable future.
As chartered accountants, we play a key role in sustainability, ensuring that businesses prosper and contribute positively to our planet and people.
By embracing new technology, we are leading the charge in integrating and assuring the reliability of AI, transforming how businesses operate.
Ethics is our cornerstone. Chartered accountants uphold the highest standards, guiding businesses with integrity and fairness.
We shape communities and drive economic growth, making sure that prosperity is shared and sustainable.
Our qualification opens doors to work worldwide, whether it's New York, Lahore, Nairobi, or London. Chartered accountants are there, making an impact, locally and globally.
By building connections, we network across borders, sharing knowledge and expertise to solve global challenges.
From local enterprises to multinational corporations, we ensure financial health and strategic success, powering economies around the world.
Adaptability is key. We thrive in dynamic environment, ready to tackle any challenge with innovative solutions.
We lead with purpose, not only to drive profit, but also ensure businesses are ethically and environmentally conscious.
Chartered accountants are puzzle solvers. We decode complex financial information, providing clarity and direction.
Our work shapes economies. By ensuring robust financial systems and sustainable practices, we help build resilient economies with the aim to preserve and grow market capital value.
We are strong locally and connected globally. Join us. Be part of a global profession that's making a tangible difference in the world.
Wherever you are in the world, there's a symbol that shows you're part of a global network of trusted, highly skilled individuals. With over 750,000 chartered accountants and 1 million students in 190 countries. Research shows that if you display the Chartered Accountants Worldwide Network member logo, business leaders and clients see you as more relevant to helping them internationally. You worked hard for this respect. Display it with pride. Join the global network of chartered accountants. We're stronger together.
Our world is built on numbers. They're behind every business. They inform every decision. Numbers have the power to truly transform, drive ambition, and create sustainable economies. But can you see the opportunity ahead of the numbers? Do you see making a difference first and the numbers second? See progress beyond the numbers? If the answer is yes, then Chartered Accountancy could be for you. Become a Chartered Accountant. Become a difference maker.
In a rapidly changing world, chartered accountants are the custodians of trust. We ensure transparency and accountability, driving businesses towards a sustainable future.
As chartered accountants, we play a key role in sustainability, ensuring that businesses prosper and contribute positively to our planet and people.
By embracing new technology, we are leading the charge in integrating and assuring the reliability of AI, transforming how businesses operate.
Ethics is our cornerstone. Chartered accountants uphold the highest standards, guiding businesses with integrity and fairness.
We shape communities and drive economic growth, making sure that prosperity is shared and sustainable.
Our qualification opens doors to work worldwide, whether it's New York, Lahore, Nairobi, or London. Chartered accountants are there, making an impact, locally and globally.
By building connections, we network across borders, sharing knowledge and expertise to solve global challenges.
From local enterprises to multinational corporations, we ensure financial health and strategic success, powering economies around the world.
Adaptability is key. We thrive in dynamic environment. We're ready to tackle any challenge with innovative solutions.
We lead with purpose, not only to drive profit, but also ensure businesses are ethically and environmentally conscious.
Chartered accountants are puzzle solvers. We decode complex financial information, providing clarity and direction.
Our work shapes economies. By ensuring robust financial systems and sustainable practices, We help build resilient economies with the aim to preserve and grow market capital value.
We are strong locally and connected globally. Join us. Be part of a global profession that's making a tangible difference in the world.
Wherever you are in the world, there's a symbol that shows you're part of a global network of trusted, highly skilled individuals. With over 750,000 chartered accountants and 1 million students in 190 countries. Research shows that if you display the Chartered Accountants Worldwide Network member logo, business leaders and clients see you as more relevant to helping them internationally. You worked hard for this respect. Display it with pride. Join the global network of chartered accountants. We're stronger together.
Our world is built on numbers. They're behind every business. They inform every decision. Numbers have the power to truly transform, drive ambition, and create sustainable economies. But can you see the opportunity ahead of the numbers? Do you see making a difference first and the numbers second? See progress beyond the numbers? If the answer is yes, then Chartered Accountancy could be for you. Become a Chartered Accountant. Become a difference maker.
Wherever you are in the world, there's a symbol that shows you're part of a global network of trusted, highly skilled individuals. With over 750,000 chartered accountants and 1 million students in 190 countries. Research shows that if you display the Chartered Accountants Worldwide Network member logo, business leaders and clients see you as more relevant to helping them internationally. You worked hard for this respect. Display it with pride. Join the global network of chartered accountants. We're stronger together.
Welcome everybody to this series of Difference Makers Discuss Our Chartered Accountants Worldwide episode where we interview members globally. I'm Sinead Donovan and today I am joined by Carla Vijian, who is originally from Malaysia but a member of Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand and is also a CPA of New York State Society, where she is currently based and working as principal in the International Ethics Standard Board, or IESBA, as we know it better. So, Carla, I'm going to pass over to you. From Malaysia to New Zealand and now to New York, all via a career in audit and now in the ethics standard setter. Tell us your story.
And very pleased to be invited on this podcast. Thank you again for the opportunity. Before I start, I just can I clarify that I'm an associate member of the New York State Society. They do have different various qualifications. So I just like to clarify that. And yes, the scholarship to study in New Zealand was a life-changing moment. It really opened a door I could have never imagined growing up in Malaysia. That took me to New Zealand to study, and then post-graduation, I was employed in the public sector in New Zealand, and audit became foundation of that career. And from there, I was able to move to Sydney and then later to London, both times joining Deloitte in each of the location. And I have to say, audit, as I mentioned before, life-changing. Different client, different assignment. One day I could be learning about construction of a straddler at the port operation. The next week I could be learning about revenue recognition at a premium outlet, or even learning about the different 7 layers of road and learning about the depreciation rate. And then also opportunity that I could never forget is watching deep sea divers laying out pipes. So those experiences definitely taught me quickly about the beauty of auditing, and it's just not about sitting back behind a desk ticking boxes. It definitely defined me in terms of my thinking about curiosity and professional judgment, and also really built my confidence as a young adult to ask questions, and especially when it's a difficult one. And no question is ever a stupid question, especially when you ask the same question and you get a different answer from a client, you need to keep probing. So working across different countries gave me the culture agility. And while the frameworks were global, the way the businesses was done was always local. So my experience, scholarship from New Zealand, right down to where I am today, really helped me become the adult that I am now, the ability to listen, observe, and adapt. And along the way, I have to say, I have to acknowledge that I was really fortunate and still am to have worked with incredible leaders that really shaped me earlier on. The impressions that a lot of them left in my early years, for example, the previous Auditor General Kevin Brady and Lynn Provo, and the many partners I gone to work on very closely subsequently. Every time they spoke, they held the truth and they showed the moral courage by standing by their judgment, and even when it was not popular. So those lessons really stayed with me much longer than I studied in any textbook. So yeah.
And it's interesting you say that about that they stand by judgments that aren't necessarily popular, because I think that is, and we'll touch on this later, but that's a lovely kind of segue into your current role, which is all about ethics, which of course quite often is about being brave enough to take decisions that aren't necessarily popular. But before we get to that, you gloriously skipped over all of those lovely years of New Zealand, of Sydney, of UK, where you worked as an auditor. And it's fascinating because when we had our initial chat, Carla, what I loved was that you did cite all these wonderful experiences you had, and you mentioned there about witnessing divers laying deep sea cables, and I think it's really important to get that across, that that's what the profession is about, and being a good auditor is not sitting behind a desk; it's about understanding business. And talk to us a little bit more about that and about what that has, I guess maybe how that is framed, how you go about in your wider standard setting agenda now.
So before I get to that stage, like one of the underrated gifts of audit training is how it changes the way how you read events. So for example, I'd like to share that last week I read about the Russia-China agreement on the Power Siberia pipeline. That's a deal that could reshape energy flows across Asia. Now, first instinct reading that is how, it doesn't just stop at the headline. You do think about who's funding it, what are the incentives and what assumptions were built in, and, what are the risks. So that habit of probing beneath the surface has always been ingrained since the day, I joined and became an auditor. And that's why I see audit as a great training for clarity and for you to really exercise your curiosity and seek clarity in a world that we live in now. Because the truth is that audit is never about sitting in isolation. And that's why that training is very instrumental to the work that I do now. So when people hear standard setting, they might think it's abstract or it might be academic. But in all honesty, if you work in the standard setting world and you speak around with the members of the board, the experience is quite the opposite. Before I go on to explain, all views I share is my personal views and not of the board. So when it comes to standard setting, a lot of the work is about listening to your stakeholders, to regulators, investors, firms. Everyone has a different perspective. And it's about finding the solution that could work globally. The ISPA code is adopted over 130 jurisdictions. So, it's not an easy task. For example, if we take just last week, I read about a news about the Northern Lights project in Norway that reached a milestone, how you can beginning to store carbon dioxide underground. And it's an incredible thing. If you read about it, I encourage everyone to Google it and search it. It is an extraordinary achievement, but with my audit background, it got me thinking. It raised a critical question. How do we know the claims are accurate? And how do we give investors and public confidence in the numbers that they're sharing? And this is where standards and ethics come in. Vague claims about what is being published are no longer acceptable. Ethics is the link between what is reported and what the public can trust is being reported. So another example I'll give is just this week, Bloomberg Green reported on the return of debt for policy swaps. I'm getting a bit technical now, but those who know about these swaps, like these instruments begin as debt for nature deals where governments refinance debt and redirect savings into conservation. Now that is a very good initiative, but they're also being adapted for post-war reconstruction and energy security. So on paper, it reduced debt burdens and channels savings into specific conservation environmental goal. In practice, it does raise the question, who are setting these goals? Who are monitoring the savings, whether they're being delivered to the promised outcome, and how transparent are the fees and the reporting when these structures are private and non-standardized. So I'm trying to get at, Sinead, is like, why should people care when they read about this news? Is because it's very important for people to understand that's why dollars are being redirected, taxpayers' money, investors. It is influenced whether public resources will support conservation, recovery, or even fossil fuels. It affects sovereignty of external investors or how agencies shape priorities. So it really tests the credibility of sustainable finance. And the real question is whether they're structured with transparency and accountability. And that's where I see the ethics standards come in and play an important role, because applied correctly by everyone in the ecosystem, ethics does not block innovation, but it does give credibility. And I apologize if I've gone quite technical on this topic.
No. Well, you have, but that's now down to me to try to unpack it a little bit. And what I taken away from that is, first off, I love your description of the audit profession. I mean, we hear about professional skepticism in the audit profession, but I am going to use the tagline now that the audit profession gives us the permission to be nosy. And essentially, that's what it does. It gives us the permission to be curious, to ask the questions, and there is no question that we shouldn't or couldn't ask. So I think that's really important to know, and for it to be, something that will attract people to the profession. Moving into the ethics, so from your journey, I know that you were on a couple of secondments that got you into the technical aspect of standard settings and all the rest, and you moved to New York. You are now in the ethics standard setting, and you're quite right. Ethics is absolutely the cornerstone of our profession, and it is that bridge to ensure that, I guess, what we do as a profession is in the public interest and is done in the right way. Critical. Can I just say, I think we might be doing something right, because you're going to tell us a little bit about the Edelman Trust Barometer and how chartered accountants have come out on that for a number of years. And I think this is really important, and kudos to you and all the standard setters and chartered accountants in the world.
Thank you. Yes, I did read about the survey that's been done on, accountants remain among the most trusted profession, even in the era that's dominated by misinformation. And let's not discount the fact that we're hearing more about corporate scandals. But corporate scandals that's happening, it doesn't just impact accountants, it impacts everyone in the ecosystem, impacts all the profession. This all comes back to one central issue, is trust. How the public view our role as accountants, as guardians and financial stewards of the financial health organization, but also now these days, accountants and chartered accountants are in roles where they are also managing information that's not purely financial. So, for example, what really struck me at the time of the reading of the surveys, that a leading AI expert also voicing a concern. Not sure if you heard of Jeffrey Hinton. He's called the godfather of AI, and he mentioned in an article that AI would most likely make a few people much richer while make others poorer. Now, I do encourage everyone to read the article to get a sense of where he's coming from. What he's saying, that he says AI not only is a powerful tool, but it is a force that could destabilize jobs, widen inequality, and create risks that we were not prepared for if we don't have that foresight to deal with some of the risks. And again, why should the general public care? Well, the way incentives are structured in technology, we know it's not neutral. Like if a company uses AI to maximize profit without accountability, society then will bear the cost ultimately. And this is where ethics and professional skepticism are what stands between innovation that builds trust and innovation that erodes it. No doubt AI will make us more efficient. We've seen how capable these platforms and what they can do, but it really doesn't solve a deeper question of integrity in work or even equal opportunity. And that's why
And sorry to interrupt there, but what is your role in that, in kind of monitoring or setting the guidelines or standards that we as accountants must do when interacting with AI and the ethical guidelines around that?
Well, the ISPA did issue pronouncements that deal with the use of technology for professional accountants in business and in public practice, so it's applicable to everyone. It is a set of guidelines at a principle base. It is not meant to be prescriptive, but it's also a framework that forces us to think about what are the risks that we're dealing with. And in practice, we may not be as self-aware when you're busy carrying out a task or a function. Sometimes you may not even be aware that you're coming across an ethical dilemma that require a little bit more full response before you take any action. And this is where the code, the standards can come in and create the self-awareness before anyone undertake a certain action, especially the use of AI.
Okay. Forgive me, I'm trying to keep up with all this, but in general, AI is a huge opportunity for everybody in the world, and certainly for us as a profession. And I think it's going to open huge doors. But I think what you're saying is that we do need to be very mindful and careful as to how we use it, and I guess how much trust we place in it. Is that right?
Do we trust AI? We can place. I wouldn't say we trust AI. We need AI is a tool that we can employ to carry out a certain function and task. I wouldn't say that as a profession we can ultimately place trust in a tool to be able to come up with decisions that are best in the public interest. And that is a very different element. I don't think you can marry the two ideas together. Trust involves,
but hence why AI will never take our jobs, because it is going to need us to absolutely interpret it and ensure that it is doing and saying the right things.
Absolutely. Even when I remember during university days when we were exposed to Excel spreadsheet, could do all these amazing formulas and calculation, we still do run tests behind the scenes. We don't put full reliance on Excel spreadsheet giving the answer. So why would put full reliance on a tool without sense checking that whatever decisions or output has is reliable? It's the data is not there's integrity in the data. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Great. Touching a little bit on the role that you currently are in, you say there's a lot of stakeholders that you obviously engage in, the firms, the regulators. I'm guessing even business users of accountants. Regulation is critical for our profession. However, getting the balance right is critical as well. Globally, do you think we have got that balance right, or is there a way that we can, I guess, marry the standards, not the standards, but the impact of the regulators globally? Maybe a question, maybe a bit of a cheeky question I'm asking you, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, how can we as a profession interact most effectively with our regulators?
I think there are many different ways, and my personal view is having a close connection or close conversation with regulators, a frequent one and a frequent cadence to understand what are the imperatives and what are the issues that the profession is facing. We, as a profession, we cannot think that we can work in silo, issue standards and guidelines, and everything will work as it is. There is a lot of other players within ecosystem and regulators and investors at the same time. Because ultimately, for example, if you use a financial statement, the one that is most concerned with will be investor, those who provide their funds, who might be funneling their retirement fund into a particular organization, hoping for a return, a nice return when they're close to retirement age. So there is a lot of conversation to be had. There is a lot of work to be done. I think we're moving at a speed in the current times where there is a great expectation in managing misinformation and how the profession can play an equal role as others within the ecosystem to be able to give investors and the public the trust that they need in this current economy.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it there. I mean, I think essentially we are part of a wider ecosystem, and we need to be absolutely mindful of that and keep the connections, the relationships, and the interactions up with all of those players within the system. Carla, I'm going to flip it a bit. I know you are a kindred spirit and love running and endurance events. Tell me a little bit about your love affair with marathon runnings.
Well, I love to talk about it. It is my latest hobby, if you could call it that. It's something that I picked up with a great more passion during COVID. It was one of the ways that I employed to deal with everything that was going around me. I was based in New York at that time on lockdown, away from family and friends, not having certainty when I'll be able to see them again and be able to visit them and give them a hug. So running was a religion to me back then. And training for the marathon, I did my first one last year for New York, and training for it, it's gave me much more insight into the word discipline and resilience. You do not run 42 kilometers at once. You actually run one at a time. And that's how I see, how it pans out in other areas of my life, such as my career and the projects. That the progress does come from a lot of persistence and not perfection. I have to be honest, like some days I do not feel like training, but I do show up anyway. And that habit of consistency is really something that, sustains everyone in their life, in professional life and personal life. And if I may share, the truth is that there is no shortcut. A marathon will humble you. It will teach you that without that hard work, you may not be able to cross that finishing line, because at 42 kilometers, you don't know what your body will succumb to. You have the best fuel plan, you might train really well. On that day, when it comes to crossing the finishing line, you learn a lot about yourself. And I see marathon running as something you do without expectation of a validation of accolade, because when you cross that line, usually at the marathon event, you have people cheering, but when you're running that 42 kilometers nonstop, it is pretty much mind over matter. It's you showing for yourself and you telling yourself you could do it. And it is not for someone who did it for first time last year, that was really insightful. I learned a lot myself through that process. Crossing the finishing line was just cherry on top, but the training and running that 42 kilometers by myself, for myself, is an amazing feeling. And I would recommend anyone to try it, because endurance athletes really do have a certain character or quality to them that make them persist through that distance and the pain sometimes, and get you to go. And
Well,
you're an athlete yourself, so you know what pain feels like.
Yes, well, congratulations on that achievement, and you're so right. It kind of mirrors an awful lot of life and life goals and life aims, and the hard work that you need to do to get those aims. Carla, coming to the end of the discussion, and thank you so much for sharing all of the insights with you. I'm keen to try and leave. I'm a big believer in the next gen of accountants, the next gen of leaders. What message would you say to them about anything really? I mean, we live in slightly uncertain times at the moment. In the profession, we've got some real great opportunities, as we said, coming our way with AI. What would be your overarching message to anyone considering coming into the profession?
I have a lot to share, but I'll just distill it into 3 anchors, and I hope that it resonates with someone if they're listening to this podcast. Is number 1, curiosity as a discipline. Curiosity has to be more than just your interests. It is your life. It's a habit of questioning, looking past the obvious, and refusing to accept status quo. I think that really kept me growing, and it still keeps me growing. It is a discipline because you have to practice it every day, even if it's easier not to. The second one would be courage over convenience. A lot of leaders left a deepest mark on me were always the ones that didn't say the most popular things. They were always the one making the difficult call and standing by it. And it really means doing the work that no one really would thank you for, and hold the line when no one's looking, or taking the slower, harder path. Is really convenient, but that is really defining, especially as you work through your career and in life. And the last thing I would share is purpose with patience. Like, real progress really takes time. And running the marathon really taught me that you never finish a marathon in a single stride. Like, you have to show up, you repeat, you endure, you keep going. And that rhythm of persistence, whether in sport or professional life, really builds, well, for me anyway, the strength that no other shortcut will ever will.
I love that. And I am going to package that as the 3 C's, if I may. So curiosity, courage, and consistency. And I think they are 3 really strong messages to leave this episode with. Carla, thank you so much. Best of luck with all the marathons you have planned. I know you will be a success. And thank you for your time today.
No, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And thank you to all our listeners. I hope you've enjoyed this session, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Cheers.